Hi. Well, I did this before and I tried to go live, and then my CGM, which is on the back of my arm right there, showed that I started going low. So the first time I did it, I put my Stone and Spear lipstick on so my lips would be pretty. I've only got a little tiny bit left. I need to order more. My blood sugar is 58 right now, so I'm going to take 2 of these peppermint St. Clair's. They've got 1.75, almost a gram of carbs in each one. So I'm going to take 2, and hopefully I will make sense. Okay, so I'm gonna, whoops, sorry. I'm gonna flip it around, the camera around to show you my paintings and my walls. That'll be next, walls. So here's my paintings on this wall. I'll come in close on some of my favorites. I really like these 2 paintings a lot. And I like that down there. And then I've got eggs and bacon coffee one with one of my espresso pots. And I really like this painting too, tea. So that's here. And just supplements and junk. Then my plants, I've got plants on the table and my plants in the window. Who doesn't have a kitchen light? Right? I love my little lamp on my kitchen table. Okay, and these are harder to see because I can't get up close. I'm blocked, but this is the other wall of paintings. And then this wall, hello, I've got my Kilts Health coaching certificate there with my clock and some photographs, some with my son, and you are the eggs to my bacon. I'm gonna see if I can get up closer to my health coaching certificate. I should be able to see that. Well, anyway. Okay, so, and there is my full water that I need to change and put over here because that one is empty. So I'm going to come over here to my air fryer. I got a Ninja air fryer, and I use it mostly for bacon and beef fat trimmings. I don't really cook in it because I like cooking, my cast iron skillets. And my Kusari food dehydrator, which I usually use to make my dog's Jasper's liver treats in there. I grew up in Louisiana. That's why I have a southern accent. I live in Maine now. I've got tallow because when you cook beef fat trimmings in an air fryer, there's a lot of tallow left over. These are my current supplements. That's my Shawnee teapot. My current supplements are taurine and inositol and magnesium gluconate and Paleo Valley organ capsules. What is this, a knife holder that I found in somebody's trash because it's broken, but it still works. And this is a Fur Life pendant for my dog's collar. It came in the mail last week, and I just want to be ready for it when when flea season starts. So I've got it sitting out on the counter because I want to remember where it is as soon as I need it. It actually works better than anything I've ever used for fleas and ticks. It's the best. So I'm just telling you that's it. Okay, now here I am at the kitchen sink. I almost never use that screen. I probably should. I wouldn't have as much grease. I got sow suds for the grease. I was using Dawn until I saw a post about the dangers of fragrance. I don't care. There's dirty dishes in my sink. There's clean dishes in my sink. And pictures from my grandkids. And more paintings. And this is empty. So I need to replace it with the one that's got water in it. That's where Jasper gets fed. Here we are back around. This is a drawer because there's not very many drawers. It's for napkins. There's not very many drawers. And these both have silverware. Not that someone that lives alone needs that much silverware. This has got kitchen tools, lots and lots of kitchen tools. And that one has kitchen towels. So there was nowhere for the napkins. So this is full of napkins, cloth napkins, yes, cloth napkins. Handmade pot holders, yep. Okay, now we're gonna come over here to the hallway. That's my studio. This is my pantry. There's not really much in there, a few things. Most of them I don't even use, but there they are. Well, baking powder every now and then maybe. Anyway, it's nice to live in a house with a small pantry, even if it is very small. And here we come around to the fridge. I've got a little butter in my butter dish. That's Jasper's food. That's a steak I'm going to eat half of tonight. That is my roasting pan. It's all clad. That's my roasting pan. That's what I cook all my roasts in. And it's in there because it's empty and I haven't cleaned it yet. I just finished the brisket that I cooked in it. It's the best. It's a really, really good roasting pan with a cover. I got my beef fat, and those are both ground beef. And that is my bacon drawer. That's beef bacon. And I don't know, various bacon grease. And these are used up bottles of insulin. Somebody gave me this and I never used it, and I don't know, it's still in there. And my Louisiana hot sauce, just in case, which I almost never use. All right. Let's see. Oh, what's in here? I don't know. Stuff. Not a lot. A lot of it's empty. I don't buy much ahead of time. It's dog food. That's ground beef that I just bought. These are a few marrow bones for my dog. I got some broth back there, a little bit of ice, some dog food that somebody gave me that has chicken in it, so I can't feed it to Jasper because he's allergic. It makes his feet pink when he chews on, and it makes him chew his feet, and then his feet turn pink. Okay, let's see if there's anything. Oh, this is my favorite salt, San Francisco Salt Company. It's hickory smoked, and I love it. This is Australian organic source freeze-dried beef suet. I don't really use it. I want it. I don't really eat it or use it. So, and my kitchen scale. I do weigh a lot of my food. Most of my food I weigh. And it's only, and I don't track all my macros. I'll come in here. I'm going to come in my studio because that's where all my jadeite is. So this is my shelf that I bought on Amazon and put together myself. And here's all my jadeite. So, and then, there are some paintings in here too. And, and my still life table. I haven't painted in quite some time. So I'm going to turn this back around since I know it's not going to disturb us and see if there's anything else that I want to talk about. My blood sugar is back up to 69, so that's good. And after this, I'm going to get on my walking pad and I'm going to walk for a few more miles. I don't know how many miles I have so far today, but let's see who this is. Somebody knows my name. Health Coach Mala. Hello. So it seems like I was going to talk about something, and now I don't remember what it was. Dang. Anybody have any questions for me? So I live by myself. I was married for 42 years to this amazing man who was an artist, and he painted me and painted flowers and painted landscapes. He was an amazing artist. And I posed for him for 36 years, and then he died. And that was 4 years plus 4 months. Yeah, it was in November 2021. So let's see. Was there something else that I wanted to show you? I should get out all my coffee pots. That would be kind of funny. I only drink coffee every now and then, and it's only decaf. So I'm going to talk about type 1 diabetes a little bit. So it was something that came up today on a post, and someone was just talking about, they were really talking about type 2 diabetes and how it should be renamed something else because it makes the whole situation between type 1 diabetes, which is what I have, and type 2 diabetes. It makes it confusing because people don't really understand the difference unless you have one or the other. I've even heard type 2 diabetics talking about type 1 and they don't even understand what it is. So they're two completely different things, and it's hard when you're a type 1 diabetic and people just use the term diabetes. And usually when they just say diabetes in a general way, when they're talking about someone who has diabetes, who could reverse diabetes, they're talking about someone with type 2 diabetes. Oh, I forgot to do, well, I'll come back to stuff in the kitchen after I finish talking about this, okay? So there's always a lot of type 1 diabetics who are so upset that, type 2s are bunched in together with diabetes. Now, the deal is we both have trouble with high blood sugars. That's the only similarity. But the two different diseases are type 2 is when your cells can't accept insulin anymore because they've been tired out and they've been, it's usually from a life of eating too high of carb foods so that you've had to produce a lot of insulin. And so when you produce more and more insulin, the cells just can't accept any more glucose. And so they kind of get tired. And then your blood sugars go high. And that's why when you either eat very low carb or no carb, like carnivore, that sometimes your blood sugars can correct themselves and the type 2 diabetes goes away. Good afternoon. But type 1 diabetes, oh, there's a spider on your wall? No, there's not. Where? Now I'm going to be looking around. Where? Type 1 diabetes is when something happens in your body and the beta cells that produce insulin die or they're killed, but they can't produce insulin anymore. So they're either totally worn out above the saucepan. What saucepan? I don't see. Okay. So that's what type 1 is, when the beta cells have been killed and they can no longer produce insulin. So okay, so there have been a few people that I know that have healed from type 1 diabetes. Not many. It's really hard to do. I've been working at it for 50 years. And I still believe healing is possible. That is why I'm on the lion diet, because it's the least. Can you drink honey? No. No. Well, okay, so I've chosen to eat no carbs at all. So honey would be no. You can, but you'd have to take a lot of insulin for it, and I'm not going to do that. So I choose to eat no carbs, so it makes it easier to manage my type 1 diabetes. Okay, so I was going to go around. I forgot because I have been trying to make this video and I messed up once because my Jasper, hush. Jasper. My CGM made an alarm on my phone and then the sound was messed up. So I started over again. So I'm going to turn this back around. There. So here are my jadeite cups. I had to take a few of those. My jadeite cups because I love them because my granddaddy had a white one and a blue one. Jasper, hush, hush. It's terrible. And I love these. Oh, hi, Lance. Yes, I know a lot of people have reversed their type 2 diabetes. It's quite exciting, and I would be really happy about that. And I'm still trying to reverse. I don't know if it would be healed. I'm really trying hard to heal my type 1 diabetes. This is my favorite. So I was getting sick this morning, and I used this about 5 times today, and I'm no longer getting sick. So it healed me. I don't understand how it works, but it's an incredible product. If you feel like you're coming down with something, you can use that and it might make it not happen. Oh, I know. I wanted to say my salt lamps. I have 5 salt lamps in my house, and in the evening, I turn most of my lights off and just get by with just the salt lamps. My purple pins. This, you might have seen this in some of my pictures. It's a sweet little bird that my family had given to my granny, my mother's mother, probably over 50 years ago, at least. Oh, it was like 55 years ago or something like that. And when she died, we inherited it. And then when my parents both died, I inherited it. It's been broken a couple of times, but glued back together, and it's just sweet. Okay, this is the cloth that I have in front of me, kind of like a placemat, and my napkins. What else do we want to talk about? I'll tell you my favorite kitchen tool. That's what I was going to do. I was going to do some kitchen tool things. It's a fish spatula. It's my favorite kitchen tool. I use it every single day. It's really good with eggs, but I use it every day with all my cooking. This is a silicone pastry brush that I use to grease pans with. I don't use very many. This is a steak knife that I bought in Moscow. We went into a store and bought some butter and some, I don't know what we were buying. We were buying butter. That was it. And, and my pot holders. Yeah, I have a few. I have a pot holder loom, and I like to make them. Did I do that on this video? I don't even remember because I had already started doing the other video. I must have gone, yeah, I did. I did go in there and show you my jadeite. So, Dottie, do you have type 1 diabetes? It says, can I drink honey with type 1 diabetes? So I don't know. I'm going to turn this back around so I can talk to y'all. What else would you like me to talk about? Because I don't know. Might be it. Unless I get some questions. I can explain again why I'm doing the lion diet. So right now I'm only eating beef, salt, and water. I did have yerba mate for breakfast after breakfast this morning. And hopefully it's not doing too much damage. It doesn't seem like it is. It just puts me in a really good mood. And I'll keep these on in case I get any messages. So, like I said, my husband died over 4 years ago. And before that, we had a lot of amazing kitchens through our 42 years of marriage. And this kitchen was only slightly disappointing when I saw my apartment for the first time. But, a carnivore doesn't really need much of a kitchen. It's just like you cook your meat, and, if you have an air fryer for bacon and a stove and some cast iron skillet, that's pretty much all you need. I really do love my all-clad roasting pan, though. I use it. It's an expensive piece of equipment. My husband and I needed a roasting pan because I don't remember what we had bought, but we bought something we needed a roasting pan for, and we didn't have one. I don't remember how I didn't have one. I think I had loaned it out or something. I had left it somewhere. And the one that we had, which was a cheap stainless steel one. So we walked down to, we lived in Portsmouth, New Hampshire in a very nice apartment, like a really nice apartment, townhouse in downtown Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And we walked to the kitchen store and we bought this all-clad roasting pan. It was $199. And I can't believe it, but we bought it. And so now I have it. And so we probably bought it like 8 years ago. And I still use it all the time. Have you had your C-peptide checked? I can't remember who it was, but I watched a video of someone who was type 1 diabetic that started making insulin again and had C-peptide levels. Yes, so I know a woman, her name is Rachel Chalmers. She's from New Zealand, and her C-peptide has greatly improved. What she did was she ate fatty meat for 5 months, and her need for insulin decreased and decreased and decreased until she didn't need insulin anymore. Now, her type 1 diabetes, she had been on insulin for 12 years, and but she also had some other things wrong with her, so it was more of an active autoimmune attack on her pancreas. And when the other things healed, the diabetes healed too. And we've tried to understand how that worked, but I've had type 1 for 55 years. In April, it will be 55 years. I was diagnosed in 1971 when I was 16 years old. And so I've been trying to heal for about 50 years. I guess it was when I was about 23, I started. So I was diagnosed at 16. Then when I was 23, I was out of school and I wasn't busy studying anymore. And, oh, thank you. Oh, hi, Terry. I wasn't studying anymore. I started studying nutrition, trying to figure out how I could heal. And I became convinced that I would be able to heal it in my lifetime. We'll see. I've still been working on it. So my C-peptide test since Carnivore. So a few years ago, I had it tested, and it was 0.10. Which is very low, but not non-existent. And the last one I had was 0.18. So it has gone up a little bit. So I'm still hopeful, and I'm trying to stay on the Lion diet for 5 months. The most I've done it is 3. I think one time I did 3.5 months. I've done it like 4 different times. I did 1 month on beef with beef broth. I did 3.5 months with lots of lamb and beef. And then I did another 3 months with mostly beef. With a few cheats. I had bacon a couple of times, and I had decaf a couple of times during that 3 months. So right now, it's the 20th of February. I've been on it since the beginning of January. So, 1.5 months, a little bit more than 1.5 months. And I'm trying to stay on it. It is incredibly boring, but I have other things in my life that bring me joy, and I enjoy the food. There is no variety. There's like one day I'll have brisket, another day I'll have burger, I'm not buying chuck roast right now because it's so expensive. It's $9.99 a pound. It might as well be a steak. I have strip steaks in my fridge because they were on sale for $7.99. I have been buying beef bacon, which is very expensive. It's $8.99 for like 10 ounces. It's ridiculous. But beef prices have gone way up, and it's kind of crazy when that's all you eat, but it is all you eat. So I'm not buying lots of beverages or snacks or even butter or eggs right now. So even though it feels like it's expensive, I would love to be able to eat ribeye more often. I love it. It's amazing, especially if you can get ribeye with all the fat on it. But I have not, I've only had ribeye in these 7 years, maybe 5 times, maybe 10 times, I don't know. The other thing I'm trying to heal, that I'd love to heal, is the Dupuytren's contracture, which is the tendons harden, and it is a genetic disorder that some Northern European ancestry, if you have Northern European ancestry, then you are more likely to have this. It's more common. And anyway, I'd like to heal that as well. What else am I trying to heal? That's why I'm taking liver supplements, is because of the bruising that I get on my hands and forearms. I'm hoping that the supplements I'm taking right now will help that. Yeah, it's crazy. And you know, I'm so healthy in all other ways. It's not on the skin, it's under the skin. It's a type of weird bruising that the bruises come out red. And it started when I hit 70. So I'd never had it before. And then I hit 70 and I start getting it. It's nuts. Yeah, and anyway, yeah. My husband had it really bad, especially after he started taking blood thinners. It was awful. Like his whole arms were just purple. It was awful. It was so sad. But your skin gets thin, and then I don't know why you bruise. I don't understand it. So anyway, yeah, my skin is very thin. I get just like if my fingernail hits my skin too much, or if I bump it on something, the skin just breaks open. It's crazy. I think that I should be doing bone broth is what I probably should be doing. That might help. It might help, but we'll see. Let's see what my blood sugar is up to now. 84, perfect. 84 is a really good number. I had 59 when I started the first video, and I took 2 of these. This is what I use to raise my blood sugar if it goes too low. Now that's another thing I could explain. The reason why type 1 diabetics have to carry something sweet along with them all the time is because they take insulin, which lowers your blood sugar, just to be alive. Because without being able to make your own insulin, your blood sugars would go high, and then that's very dangerous. So we take insulin with syringes, right? This is my little pouch, my little leather pouch with my insulin in it. And I have regular that I take for lowering my blood sugar with meals. And this is what I use for just daytime, even if I wasn't going to eat. And that's NPH, and this is R or regular. So I carry those in my little purple bag. I wish I could tell you who made these. Somebody on eBay, and if you looked up colorful leather pouches, you might be able to find it, but it's a perfect size for 2 bottles of insulin. And then my syringes. My syringes that I take, usually I take 5 plus probably 2 more. So regularly I would take 1 in the morning for my overall day and 1 at night before bed for my nighttime. And then I would take 1, 2, 3 for each meal. But I have to take 1 when I first get up in the morning, because you have a cortisol rise. When you make cortisol in the morning to get up, it's a natural hormone. You're supposed to make it, but it makes your blood sugar high. So you have to take insulin just to get up out of bed. It's called foot on the floor. So I have to take it before I get up. So I take my insulin while I'm still in bed, check my blood sugar. I also have this on my phone. So I check my blood sugar and take the foot on the floor insulin plus my daytime insulin. And then when I come back then I go on my walk. I do my exercises. I go on my walk. When I come back from my walk, I take insulin for my meal, which is breakfast, which I usually have a burger and some beef bacon. And before I was on the Lion diet, I always ate eggs and bacon, which I do miss, but I'm okay because I really like burgers and I really like the beef bacon. And if I don't have beef bacon, I eat beef fat trimmings. And then I take another unit of insulin, another few units of insulin for my lunch, which is usually something like brisket. If I have some kind of roast or brisket or steak, which I don't have steak very often, but whatever I'm going to have for lunch. And then I also eat supper, so I would take insulin for that too. And then if I miscalculate, like I'll take 1.5 or 2 units, mostly for meals. And if the meal needs more insulin, or if I'm not able to go on as many walks, I will have to correct, so that's another shot. So some days I'll have like 7 or 8 shots. Some days only 5, but usually 6. So I might take 7 or 8. But, and yes, you get used to them, but they still hurt. And it's still no fun. And, it's okay, but it's a job that never goes away, and it's 24/7, 365, and it's hard because sometimes it doesn't make sense. You can try really hard to get your blood sugars just right, and and you still, it's always an educated guess. There's nothing exact. Sometimes you get it wrong. Sometimes you get it right. That's why we're all so excited when our blood sugars are perfect, like 84. That is so awesome. And it's just staying there, 84. That's like perfect blood sugar. 83 is the perfect number. But anyway, I'm happy with 84. And, it's hard when it goes low, and it's hard when it goes high. And yeah, so anyway, I'm trying to think if anybody has any questions about, I remember what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about before it was Carnivore, and I lived in other houses with other kitchens. I was an amazing cook. When it didn't matter what diet we went on. We tried lots of different diets through the years because I was always trying to heal the type 1 diabetes, or at least be as healthy as I could possibly be. In case there was ever a cure, I wanted to be super healthy when there was a cure, right? And I just loved cooking. So I would learn incredible things to cook. And I would, no matter what diet we were on. And thank you for this. You're welcome. Oh, it's Dr. Nelson. Oh my goodness. Now I'm embarrassed. So when we went on a raw vegan diet, this is really funny. When we went on the raw vegan diet, I was sure it was going to heal the type 1 diabetes. And I would fast a lot. I would do a lot of colonics. And I was so sure I was going to get healed. So I started making all this crazy food for people to buy from me. And I made onion bread that was the product that was the favorite of everybody's. And I made onion bread. It was made out of onions, sliced onions, and flax seeds, and sunflower seeds, and almonds. Well, no, almonds weren't in that. It was just sunflower seeds and tamari. Anyway, people loved it, and it dehydrated for 6 days. And then I made other food like a raw food granola that was made out of almonds and all kinds of nuts, coconut. That had agave in it. I did not eat that. It was too sweet for me. I made 6 kind of crackers that were made out of nuts and kimchi or sauerkraut. It was crazy. The products were really popular, and I had 19 different flavors of chocolate. They all had different superfoods or Brazil nuts or something unusual, maca. They had different flavors and vanilla, and people loved my chocolate, and I sent it all over the world. It was very popular. And something we were talking with Dr. Nelson about last night, I was in the middle of this raw vegan snack company that I had. It was called Amy's Living Magic. And I had customers all over the world. And Donna Karen called us when she was on an airplane to make an order. I mean, that's, it was a big deal. And then we sent out, 17 boxes to Tree of Life Healing Center in Patagonia, Arizona. We sent orders to all kinds of places and all kinds of people. And, we would get calls from all over the world. And it was very popular, but it was really hard to make enough money for it to be sustainable because it's handmade products. You ship in almonds from Vietnam or sunflower seeds from Vietnam, almonds from California or somewhere else. You're sourcing very expensive products, raw materials, and then switching them around, putting them in a dehydrator for several days, and then packaging them up. The packaging costs money, the labels cost money. You have to, let's see. Hello? So anyway, we weren't really making that much money. It was a lot of fun, and we were at least breaking even. We just weren't making money. And then, so we had been trying to figure out, because all our raw food friends were getting so unhealthy, and I had aches and pains all over my body. It was supposed to be the best diet in the world, this raw vegan diet, and we were all suffering. My husband's teeth were rotting in his mouth. Other people were getting very weak and having, women were losing their periods. It was crazy. And we were all realizing about the same time that the raw vegan diet did not work and that it wasn't helping us anymore. So I had this whole company, right? That's all I did every day was make all these crackers and chocolate and crazy stuff. That's all raw vegan. So, hello. So we decided that, at least we're going to start eating raw butter. That was the first food that we started to eat, was raw butter. And we started to incorporate it, and at least it was raw. It wasn't animal product, so it wasn't vegan, but at least it was raw. and we found an amazing source for this raw butter that I still buy butter from when I'm eating butter. A farm a very small farm in New Hampshire, and I'm sworn to secrecy because she can't sell to anybody else. She has about 10 people that she sells to, and that's it. And it's like buying butter on the black market. I'm sworn to secrecy. I know the way to her house, and I know her telephone number, and that is it. So anyway, and she'll make butter if I order it. So she has 6 Jersey cows. I am very fortunate, but don't ask because I can't tell you. Anyway, so butter was the first thing we decided to eat. And then, some of us started eating seafood. I was freaking out, and I was like, I'm not going to change. I have a company. This is ridiculous. And then I started reading. First, I read Weston Price's book, Nutrition and Physical Degeneration, which pretty much convinced me to start eating meat again. And I read Vegetarian Myth, and I read, I'm trying to remember the books I read. There was one after Vegetarian Myth. I read Big Fat Surprise pretty much right away too, all about how animal fat is so necessary for health. So I was doing all that. Okay, I'm pretty much convinced. And it was January 1st, and we were having a dinner at our house. We had a potluck at our house. And there was all this raw food that I had made and all this other food that people had brought to the potluck. And we were talking about diet. And my daughter Camille, who had also been a raw vegan, she said, so my neighbors are making noise and my dog is barking. I'm sorry. Okay, that's all right. You don't have to bark. She said, Mom, just try it for 30 days. If you don't like it, you can go back to being a raw vegan. And she convinced me, and somebody had made scrambled eggs. So I went in the kitchen and served myself some scrambled eggs with butter. And it was the most heavenly thing I had ever eaten. It was amazing. And I don't remember the circumstances around the first time I had eaten red meat. It had been 35 years since I had eaten red meat. When I started being low carb 30 years ago this year. And when I did that, I had switched from being a vegetarian to then eating meat, but I only ate chicken and turkey and tuna fish. So I didn't eat red meat. So so the first time I ate red meat, I don't remember what it was. I think it was a steak. I don't know. I wish I remembered exactly what it was, but I do remember how it felt. It felt like a deep nourishment that I had not felt my entire life. Now, back then, we only ate meat from local farms. So we were eating completely grass-fed, local meat, and it was amazing. We did that for about 8 years. Oh, maybe longer, because we did it the whole time we were keto. We bought from local farms. And then for the first several years that we were carnivore, when we went carnivore, we were still shopping in local farms. And what happened was we had started traveling, teaching art, teaching painting. My husband taught the painting, and I traveled with him to help out. And sometimes I posed. So, yeah, did I say that already? I posed for my husband for 36 years in these gorgeous paintings, and that was how I made a living. That was what we did. My husband he painted flowers too. He probably he painted more flowers than me, but I probably posed for, he estimated once that I posed for, hello from India, Raj. I probably posed for 1,500 paintings is what he said. But where was I going with this? Oh, we were traveling. We traveled all over the world. So when we were traveling all over the world, what was local? Like, we got to travel to Moscow and Italy, and then we traveled to California, and it was like, what was local then, And so then when we got home from all of our trips, we're like, we're just going to start shopping at the grocery store. And it was great because the food was really good, and we felt more global. So instead of just our little local. So that was interesting how that happened. So anyway, that that is why I don't necessarily. And then, well, actually, when he died, I lost our income. He was our income. He sold paintings and sold courses. I do still sell his courses, but they're not as popular as they were when he was alive. So I don't really make much money that way. So anyway, the point is, I'm not trying to talk about my income, but the point is I shop for good deals. I shop for the best prices. I shop sales because I get Social Security at 71. I get Social Security, and I'm very careful with my money. And so, um, yeah, but it's amazing. Life is amazing. I'm having the best time with Carnivore. I want to say too, I showed you my coaching certificate from Kills Health. I am a certified carnivore keto coach. So if anybody ever needs coaching, I do individual coaching and I do group coaching. So it's almost time to renew for March. Every month is a new group. And so we have a small group. You can always get individual attention because it's a small group, and we have a Zoom meeting once a week, and we have a WhatsApp group where we share support with each other. I share videos, pictures. We chat with each other during the day, and then we have our Zoom meeting. And it's a great community, and and then we renew each month. So if anybody is interested in that, if you're interested in joining the group, you can either message me here, like with a comment, or any of my other videos on YouTube, and watch my other videos too. I have a lot of good videos out there. And I'll ask you to subscribe and like this video if you do. Please subscribe. And of course, I have lots of friends. I don't know what kind of, do I have a friend? Yes, I have a friend. I don't know what that means, but anyway, I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh, my course, my group coaching. So that's you can DM me on Instagram or Facebook. I need to figure out how to put that on my YouTube channel so you know where to. So it's a link. I'll ask my daughter; she can tell me. But I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Amy Fields Perrin. So it's AIMEEFIELDSPERRIN on both Instagram and Facebook. You can find me there and DM me. It's probably easier to DM me on Instagram or Messenger, and I will always answer. And then I can tell you how to do it to get in the group. And it's an awesome group. And we have a lot of fun and support. And I try to walk 10 miles a day. I don't always make it. Sometimes I get 8, somewhere between 8 and 10. And so I need to get on my walking pad and do that. And let's see what my blood sugar is up to. Oh, see, it's already up to 101 because it knows I haven't walked enough today yet. So I need to go walk. And you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I'll be back next week with another video. And I think Friday afternoon might be a good time. There's not a lot of other carnivore coaches on lives at that time, so it might be a good time for me to go live. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. And thank you for watching about my cast iron skillet and my kitchen tour. Bye for now.